Hello everyone. This presentation is designed for professionals in the area of smart tourism. I'm going to talk about smart tourism, what is smart tourism, and how to work in the direction of smart tourism. The presentation will be based on the practical aspects introducing smart tourism for any touristic organization. This will be useful for demos, hotels, museums, visit centers, and other organizations operating in the area of tourism. First of all, it is worth saying that smart tourism is fundamentally based on the exchange of information. This, of course, includes elements of internet marketing, sustainability, ecology, and achieving basic tasks in tourism. The other way of thinking about it is that aims of smart tourism are the same as the aims of tourism in general. And of course, one of the main aims of tourism is the tourist's experience of cultural and historical features of a given destination. Smart tourism makes the process of exchange of this information very easy, fast, and convenient. So what is actually smart tourism? Let us start with the definition given by Wikipedia. Wikipedia says that smart tourism is an important component of a smart city. However, Wikipedia here is wrong. This is a very common misconception. Actually, smart city is a city with technologies designed for local people. And smart tourism concepts are designed for tourists. Basically, smart tourism is all about the exchange of information between touristic organizations and tourists using internet, and it has nothing to do with the technologies for easier life in the city. Also, it is important to understand that any type of tourism could be smart tourism, and that smart destination does not equal smart city. So what is smart tourism? Smart tourism equals smartphone plus tourist, and also plus internet. Nowadays, pretty much every tourist has a smartphone. The key component here is that smartphone should be connected to the internet. Smart tourist is then able to use any touristic services using internet. For this reason, destinations should make sure they provide internet to their visitors. There are several ways to achieve this. This could be selling SIM cards at a reasonable price with ready-to-use internet, or providing free Wi-Fi covering all important touristic locations. It is worth saying that smart tourist is a new type of a tourist. Smart tourists are very aware and they use internet to guide themselves, and they are always online. These are three important points that one needs to remember when dealing with smart tourism. So why smart tourism? Here are the 4 points why smart tourism is so beneficial. First of all, it has advantages because smart tourist has access to much more information than a tourist with no internet. The result of this is that smart tourists can visit more attractions, buy more services, and stay for a longer time. Another benefit is that smart tourists are more responsible, once again because they are more informed. Third point is often ignored, but it is also a really important one. Smart tourist creates content. Because smart tourist is always online, this results in so-called user-generated content across social networks. Such content is much more trusted by other potential tourists, and sometimes it benefits destinations more than advertising that they make. And lastly, since smart tourists show activity online, the traffic of tourists grow, and this is once again beneficial for the destination. For this reason, we can say that smart tourists generate more valuable, profitable, and responsible flow of tourists. All of these benefits are gained by the destination who follows two simple rules. First is access to the internet mentioned earlier. Secondly, touristic organization should be presented in the smartphone of a tourist. But how does the organization get to the smartphone of a tourist? There are several ways this could be done. All of them touch different channels of passing the information to tourists. First is the official website or blog. Second is the official pages in social networks. Third is user-generated content. Fourth is a travel platform such as TripAdvisor, Booking, etc. And fifth is the direct messages such as email, phone, WhatsApp, etc. One should not forget about these channels of information to communicate with tourists. In our experience of consulting companies, the destinations often complain about the following challenges to achieve smart tourism. These challenges are a lack of time, lack of money, lack of knowledge, and lack of qualified staff. So what are the solutions? The solution to lack of time is actually to do consistent and only necessary work, not to spend effort in the wrong directions. In terms of lack of money, a lot of services are free. In fact, all required services for successful work online are free. In terms of lack of knowledge, one could self-educate themselves. It takes some time, but it's free and it brings a lot of benefits both to the business and to the people self-educating themselves. In terms of lack of qualified staff, everything could be done by ourselves, or the staff could be also self-educating themselves. These solutions are really simple, but majority of the organizations don't do it for some reason. This is why we want to go through these problems one by one and see what organizations usually do wrong. Let us start with consistency. First common mistake is making similar posts on everyday basis. On the surface it looks like a lot of work has been done, but in reality social networks often have algorithms that would limit recommendations of such posts. Also, users get bored of the same posts and could start ignoring them or even unsubscribe. Another mistake that organizations often make is that they see traffic to the website lower than they want and they try to create a new website, which is not gonna work because you're gonna have two similar websites which are not run correctly. It is much better to fix the issues with the current website instead of creating a new one. The key here is a systematic approach to work on your website. It is also common that social network page is not running well and the organization decides to give up and switch all effort to another social network. This is completely pointless as all social networks operate in a very similar way. If one has understanding of how to run one social network correctly, this could likely work in other social networks. If not, then figuring out what to do in social networks is the first step. So the key message here is to be systematic, not to spend effort in wrong directions, just focus on doing everything correctly and consistently. Apart from consistency, we mentioned lack of resources as another problem. And as a solution, we suggested that there are free services to use. Here are some examples of such services. To create a website, one could use Tilda or WordPress. To run web analytics, Yandex and Google could be used for free. Geo-services, such as Yandex, Google Maps, 2GIS, these are also completely free to place your organization there. In terms of social networks, creating a page on Facebook, Instagram, OK or VK is completely free. Also, placement on the platforms such as TripAdvisor, Booking or Viator is totally free. However, there are additional paid options for bookings or advertising. And finally, to track statistics of your website, SEO, SiteChecker or SERPstat could be used for free. The next mentioned problem is the lack of knowledge and lack of qualified specialists, and this is easily solved by self-learning. Here, let us list the main sources of information. The book Basics of Digital Marketing is designed to give fundamental understanding of key concepts in this area. It is also important to learn how search engines work. Most of the traffic comes from them, so knowing how they operate is important. Then, it is important to learn how to work with map services, such as Google, Yandex, and 2GIS. Finally, it is important to get familiar with the platforms such as TripAdvisor and social media, and to learn the basics of web analytics, which could be learned for free in Yandex or Google. Particularly, we recommend Google Analytics 4, which is very convenient to use. As we can see, self-learning is very important to gain specified skills, but also it improves digital thinking and skills for any online work. The last advice we are going to give today is to schedule tasks on a regular basis. You cannot do some amount of work online and then leave it to work by itself. It is continuous and endless process of creating and improving content across all available channels. Apart from working on the content, the regular work on the website is necessary. Make sure your website appears high in search engine. Checking reports from Web Analytics is another task to do regularly. Also, check map services. How does your organization appear there? Is everything listed correctly? And is it easy to find you using these services? And the last point is to check reviews and respond to them. This is very important way of communication with tourists and creating a good reputation among potential tourists. Additionally, improving sustainability could be very useful for your organization. More and more tourists choose organizations that have better sustainability reputation, so this is quite important nowadays. Finally, let us summarize the key concepts of smart tourism. First of all, leadership. It is necessary to control all processes in your organization, including the qualification of your team. Secondly, consistency. As said, consistent work is the key to success of smart tourism. Will for self-education is important to gain all needed skills. Also, everything is changing quickly nowadays. For instance, search engines change their algorithms on regular basis, so being aware could be very useful. Awareness of the basics of internet marketing is fundamental for all processes that are used in smart tourism. One should not forget that smart tourism means posting all useful information online, and that the first rule of smart tourism is that everything is designed for tourists. We should also not forget that improving sustainability is important. Finally, if one wants to run a successful organization in the context of smart tourism, it is important to think in digital manner. Everything should be transformed and built digitally and be posted online. All of this helps to build smart tourism in the right way. Thank you for your attention. We hope it was a useful video. Here we are leaving some context if you have any further questions and proposals. Thank you.